Okay, great. Could you tell me your name, please? And
Jim Cook, and I'm president of the National Association of Letter Carriers, Branch 82. We represent city letter carriers in the greater Portland area.
And
I'm David Jarvis. I'm the president of the Mail Handler Union. We represent mail handlers throughout the Oregon.
And both locals are here in Portland?
Yes, this gentleman over here.
Hi, I'm Joe Kogan. I'm the vice president of the American Postal Workers Union, Portland, Oregon area.
Great. And could you all tell me what you are doing here today?
We're here fighting privatization that's been going on for about 4 decades that we've witnessed, but it's gotten worse over with the Postmaster General Donahoe. It's happening more severely to the crafts that are represented by my brother standing to my right, but we letter carriers stand in solidarity fighting privatization.
And could you talk a little bit about the nature of the privatization?
Well, the current one is at the Portland Air Cargo Center, known as PAC, out by the airport. And they took work that the clerks and the mail hunters have done for 40 years, and they, on May 24th of this year, they made a decision to subcontract what is known as the Swibey operation, involving 12 mail hunters and how many clerks?
About
4 clerks, and give it to Matheson, non-unionized people right across literally through the door of PAC. They haven't actually done the deed at this point in time, but they have the decision from the national headquarters to do it. We're here to protest that.
How did Matheson get the contract?
They have a contract already, but not for the work that they're trying to take away from our crafts and give to them, in addition to what they've already got.
And where does this privatization come from? Does it come from, like, the White House, the House, the Senate?
The highest level of the United States Postal Service. It comes from Donahoe. He knows. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it comes from local management here as well.
What do you hope to accomplish here today?
Well, hopefully to bring awareness to the public that their postal service is being privatized, as Jim has so eloquently said, and the cost. I mean, they're taking the word service out of the postal service. That's what they're doing. Service, since they also, another issue that they have done is they consolidated the Salem facility, and they have moved those mail processing operations on June 1st to Portland, but along with that, they don't deliver the service. We used to be 17 in overnight delivery out of 67 districts in the country. We're now 67. So, they're screwing the public.
Could you say something, if you care to, about the notion that many people have that many postal workers are veterans or people who have served in the military before?
I'm a veteran.
And could you talk perhaps about the importance of postal service job options for returning vets?
It's very important for, I'm a veteran myself, and 25% about the postal service is veteran, and we owe it to them to give them a good working wage job that they can retire from, and the Postal Service, the options for those people are severely limited now. Severely limited.
Great.
The majority of our custodians are veterans preference. It means they got injured while serving our country. And a lot of our maintenance employees are that way. Currently, they're forcing a group of them to drive from Salem to out by the airport at the Mount Hood DDC every day, back and forth as a commute. So they're not treating our veterans right. And another thing about the privatization, the Postal Service's intent, and has put this in writing, that they are going to look at privatizing all the motor vehicle operations across this country. There's 167 sites that they're looking at right now to privatize.
So is this union busting then?
It is.
It's been going on for over 30 years. Ronald Reagan started the trend to try to privatize the postal service. But before he was in office, the Postal Reorganization Act of 1971 was a step. It was put together by big business, for big business interests at the expense of the American public, who really own the postal service that's being sold off by the current Postmaster General, as well as Democrats and Republicans in Congress. Fortunately, in Oregon, all except for Greg Walden support the public postal service. Everyone but Greg Walden, and we need that around the country. We're hoping today's action will spark community support for the postal service throughout the country.
And it's important to remember that, not a dime comes from anything except postage. You mail a package, you mail a letter, that's where we get our revenue. And he's right. Congress in 2008 pushed his parting shot at the Postal Service, and the PAE Act hamstrung us for $5.6 billion payments when our funds are already full 100% and overfunded and they won't give us the money back. So they're creating a false financial situation, again, I believe, for union busting and to dissolve the Postal Service as we know it.
Could you tell me something I don't know about the post office?
Yes, it created this nation through the communication and the free flow of commerce, and it has continued to strengthen this nation. You dismantle the public postal service, you're dismantling the fabric of social fabric, the commercial fabric of this nation.
Here, especially we're here on the 238th year birthday of the Postal Service, and here we are 238 years later, and they're trying to privatize us. And if you look at the risks of the regions in the world that have gone that route, they haven't worked out. So they don't really care. You know? The public needs to know that.
We're not tax funded. All the money that runs the post office comes from the sale of postage. And I think a lot of the public doesn't know that. They don't.
The other point is that, we're fighting privatization, but we're not fighting it just for our jobs, which is who we represent, our letter carriers, postal workers, even people who don't belong to our union, we represent them. But it's the public institution that's a national treasure that will not be, it's a universal delivery network that is used by UPS, FedEx to deliver their many of their parcels in what's known as the last mile network. These gentlemen represent people who process and handle the mail. I represent people who deliver the mail. We're a 24-hour round-the-clock operation, and the public takes it for granted. But when the Postal Service is gone, we will bemoan its loss.
Amen to that.